constellation contains a star that at one time is or was a pole star or dominating influence on Earth. Now, modern science states that the Cygnus star collapsed and formed a black hole in space when the star's thermonuclear fuel was spent, exhausted or depleted. Now, ancient people considered circumpolar stars to be separate, opposing groups of spirits that expand death and destruction. Now, the Cygnus star consisted of radiations from reptiles that accumulated during their 160 million year period of rule over the Earth. Now, remember we were talking about everybody is a star, the reptiles had their stars too. Now, the Cygnus star collapsed when reptilian creative energy was exhausted, depleted. The reptiles couldn't think, they had been around 160 million years ago. They couldn't think of any new creative ideas. All Tyrannosaurus Rex could do was get bigger. So they were locked in rigidity because they had nothing new. Their DNA code was so specialized, there was no way to change it. So that's why they started stealing other people's energy. So now, the circumpolar constellations belong to galaxies that are disintegrating, and they're distinct from those of the Milky Way, which are growing. Now, between 1927 and 1929, Dr. Edwin Hubble observed the galaxies that are distinct from the Milky Way are receding from it, and thus he concluded that the universe is expanding. Now, the collapse of the Cygnus star generated volcanoes in the northern Rocky Mountains, the Andes Mountains, and mountains of the Caribbean region. Seas invaded the land and washed away great thicknesses of chalk, which were largely the remains of dinosaurs and other predators. Now, scientists state that there are volcanoes all along the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. There's a ridge there, and that those volcanoes have been erupted ever since. They haven't stopped. Okay, now, Spain is a fragment of a huge continent that existed between 345 and 280 million years ago. Part of the land around Spain sank around 65 million years ago, and Spain attained its present configuration. Okay, between 65 and 2.5 million years ago, lava flows created the Cygnus star collapsed in the Yucatan, but it made lava flow in the Deccan Peninsula of India. Now, the Yucatan is right in here, and India is almost exactly. So I think probably this opposite. Probably the meteor sank here and it caused lava to flow in India. And they say lava covered 251,000 square miles. And volcanic eruptions on the Deccan Plateau continued every 10,000 years for a period of 5 million years. Now, these seas carried all these great thicknesses of chalk, which were the remains of dinosaurs, ammonites, and other creatures. Now, the chalk deposits were heaviest in Central North America and Northern Europe, where they formed, look at here, they formed the White Cliffs of Dover. See, aren't they pretty? But this is all, this is in England. This is the remains of dinosaurs. That's chalk. And almost the entire region, and covered everything except the Baltic Shield, where the little fish evolved, and where the jawless fish and the lungfish and the sharks and the placoderms and the jawed fish and the rayed fish. It did the chalk almost entire region was laid down with the remains of dinosaurs except for that region.